Hello students, welcome to Notebook. Do you know about the dark history of human sacrifices around the world? Women in India often sacrificed themselves when their husbands died. They sat on the funeral pyre of their husbands and burned to death. In this way, they accompanied their husbands to the other world after their death. This practice, known as sati, was finally abolished or stopped when Governor General Lord William Bentinck passed a law during British rule in India. Social reformers in India, like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, also protested against sati for many years. Human sacrifices were made by the emperors and common people of China during important events. Often, attendants and family members were buried with a dead person. Other kinds of sacrifices have also been performed. In India, men became kings or rajas by performing certain sacrifices or yajanas. A famous sacrifice was the Ashwamedha Yajna. In this yajna, a very powerful king, Raja, sent one of his horses to other kingdoms. The horse was guided by Raja A's men. The kings who did not stop the horse accepted that Raja A was stronger than them. Those who stopped the horse had to fight with the Raja A's men. Finally, all the kings who had accepted that Raja A was stronger were invited to the yajna performed by Raja A. Specially trained priests performed the yajna. Raja A sat on a throne or tiger skin, and his charioteer told everyone tales of his bravery and glory. His charioteer was his companion in the battlefield. The common people, known as the Vish or Vaishya, brought gifts for the Raja. The Shudras were not allowed to participate in the yajnas because they belonged to the lowest class. This tells us that 3,000 years ago, the Indian society was divided into many castes and classes. Upper castes and classes ruled over the lower castes. These classes or castes were known as the Varnas. The four Varnas were Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. These four Varnas had four different occupations. The Vaishyas formed the third Varna. They were expected to be farmers, herders, and traders. The Sudras formed the lowest caste. They had to serve the other Varnas, and they could not perform any rituals. Where did the Indian Rajas start living? They started living in many parts of India which came to be known as janapadas. The land where the jana or the people set their feet came to be known as janapadas. Such janapadas have been found in Hastinapur near Meerut in Uttar Pradesh, at Atranjikhera near Eta in Uttar Pradesh, and in Purana Kila in Delhi. The people living in these areas grew many crops like wheat, barley, rice, and sesame. They made grey and red earthen pots. The painted greyware pottery from these janapadas are famous. Around 2,500 years ago, some janapadas expanded, grew powerful, and transformed into mahajanapadas. Mahajanapadas had a capital city, and it had many walls made of wood, stone, or brick round them. This means that the cities were fortified and well protected against outside attacks. When a city or an empire grows rich and powerful, greedy or jealous rulers from outside the empire often wish to capture it. They attack powerful cities and empires to capture them. The new Rajas began to maintain big armies and build huge forts. They needed money to pay the salaries of the soldiers in the army and to build these forts. How did they collect this money? The Rajas of the Janapadas started collecting taxes from the common people. There were different types of taxes. The most important were taxes on crops, collected from the farmers. Craftspersons had to perform labor or work for the king for a certain period of time. Thus, taxes were collected in the form of labor from artisans or craftspersons. Herders, traders, hunters, and gatherers also paid taxes in the form of animals, animal produce, trade items, and forest produce. Farming or agriculture also changed around this time. In the Janapadas and the Mahajanapadas, people began to use iron plowshares instead of wooden plowshares to turn the soil. They also began to transplant paddy. That is, they began to grow paddy saplings and then planted them in the fields. Earlier, they used to scatter the paddy seeds directly on the fields. This increased the production of paddy. The slave men and women, the dasas and the dasis, performed the labor or hard work of agriculture. Two important regions in India around this time were Magadha and Vajji. Magadha was a fertile land with rivers like the Ganga and the Son flowing through it. There were forests in the area from where elephants were captured and trained for the army. The forests also provided other valuable resources. Powerful rulers like Bimbisara, Ajatashatru, and Mahapadmananda ruled in Magadha. Rajagriha or Rajgir in Bihar was the capital of Magadha for many years. Later, the capital was shifted to Patliputra or present-day Patna. Vajji was another kingdom with its capital in Vaishali, Bihar. Vajji had a different form of government known as the Gana or the Sangha. As many as thousands of men ruled together in the Gana or the Sangha. Each one of them was known as a Raja. The Rajas performed rituals together and met in assemblies to have discussions and debates and about how to govern the kingdom. Women, dasas or slaves, and kammakaras or agricultural laborers were not allowed to attend these assemblies. Rajas of powerful kingdoms tried to capture these sanghas. But the sanghas were strong and they lasted till about 1500 years ago. Finally, they were captured by the Gupta rulers. With that, we come to the end of our video lesson on kingdoms, kings, and early republic. Our country India has a republican government in which the country belongs to the public and is not the sole property of the rulers. Early ideas of this kind of government was found in the Sanghas or Janas. Find out how republican governments emerged around the world. See you soon in our other videos. Till then, keep learning.